I love Hazelwood. But there are a lot of things that are not here that should be here. It's still a community that has been underserved for generations, you know? It's just not normal. Whenever something that is supposed to be built for everybody only works for some, it produces brokenness. Thankfully, this community was strong enough to take the broken pieces of this community and paint a picture of the future.
Let's go.
Two years ago, there was a meeting with a number of the key stakeholders, Carnegie Mellon being one of them, the Hazelwood sort of initiative, Tim Smith, and a number of other people that were doing projects in Hazelwood. And Terry Irwin, the head of the School of Design, asked if we, the School of Design faculty, would be interested in joining the conversation. It was proposed, why not try a senior project and, you know, see what we can kind of get out of a semester's worth of work in a community. Can you build that level of trust and engagement that you need where it really is an authentic experience for both the community and the students? And is the work real?
It started as a way for the design school to talk about this really abstract concept of community and loss and how you fill in the gaps for someone else. It was sort of the first time, in my opinion, that we as design students were really thinking outside of ourselves and trying to think about another person and what they might need.
I really didn't think it could be done in a semester, but, you know, I knew that if certain parts of this thing came together, that it would take on a life of its own. If they could hear what the people of Hazelwood were saying, and the people of Hazelwood could effectively communicate with the students, then I knew that this could work. But those two worlds really needed to come together. It was a real journey there for us.
The very first day that we were all sitting and having to talk to people, I was like, how am I supposed to talk to someone who has lost so much? How am I supposed to talk to someone so different than me? We really quickly realized that if we played together a little bit, if we laughed together, that would sort of like open us up a little bit more.
Trying to get people to engage in creative manners, I think, really brings people closer. We were able to use a lot of the methods we learned. We call them make tools, and creating exercises that you can do with community members that makes both parties comfortable and able to share information. And through that, we really started to get to know them. It wasn't just us learning about them, but they really came to learn who we are and accept us as well. And I think that helped the process a lot.
We weren't, in my opinion, like trying to play these roles. Like I was just as Courtney, not as a designer. I was just as Courtney trying to talk to Miss Robinson.
The message of this exhibit really began to change as well. The more we became involved with the community, it wasn't as much about focusing on, you know, those that have died, but also about those that are there and, you know, breathing aspiration into this space.
We really wanted to, as a class, create something that was substantial and just emotionally sufficient for these people who experience great loss and were opening themselves up to us and telling their stories. Everybody really wanted to make these people happy and create an exhibit that respected the vulnerability that they offered to us.
We navigated a lot of really like uncertain waters going into Hazelwood and trying to understand the pieces that were sort of missing from this big question about urban violence and identity and privilege and tolerance and understanding, all these big things that we aren't necessarily trained as designers to deal with. And I felt thankful that Tim was there to help guide us and help us really think very carefully about how to ask questions and be present.
A lot of people in Pittsburgh don't know Hazelwood exists, which is kind of baffling to me. The issues this community is dealing with are not unique to Pittsburgh. It's important to remember that these are our neighbors. And it's important for these kinds of exhibits to be present because it starts the conversation. Hopefully it just plants enough of a seed for you to think about your position and your relationship with those around you.
I think ultimately the project was about bringing two groups of people together that don't really have a ton in common. You have these like very young design students who are very positive about the world and always want to see the good in the world. And then you have these community members, and specifically these mothers that have lost their children. And to try to bridge them together, created a space for people to talk to each other, for us to talk to Hazelwood, for Hazelwood to talk to us, and for people in Pittsburgh, people outside the community to talk to one another, not just about what had happened in that space and why it happened, but things that are similar or even things that we share as people, like loss and like mourning the death of someone that we love.
That room in the sanctuary speaks to every single person who's walked through that door. Anybody who comes into this room and sees that exhibit, they're going to be impacted. Their lives are going to be impacted. They're going to be thinking about things differently, things related to justice and equity. People have left here in tears, just crying, just touched by the work that was done between this community and the students.